Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dana with the Data. So, tonight we are examining a heated confrontation that unfolded at a Dallas town hall meeting. Well, Texas, Dallas, same thing, where political discourse took a disturbing turn. The incident involves Blaze TV host Sara Gonzales and Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett, highlighting the increasingly toxic nature of political engagement in America today. Representative Jasmine Crockett, who represents Texas' 30th Congressional District, was hosting a routine town hall meeting in Dallas to engage with her constituents on policy issues. These events are fundamental to Democrat participation, providing citizens an opportunity to hear from their elected officials and voice their concerns. However, what should have been a constructive dialogue between a representative and her constituents quickly devolved into chaos when Sara Gonzales, a host for Blaze TV, a conservative media network, attended the event with apparent intentions to disrupt rather than participate constructively. Take a look.
Get off me! Get off me! Get the
day. I used to stay at my granny's house. She was one of my favorite people in the entire world.
Jasmine! The people of Dallas deserve better than a fake ghetto hood rat. Do they know you're a rich kid from Missouri? Do they know you're a spoiled rich kid from Missouri?
No, ma'am.
Do they know? Don't touch me.
No, ma'am.
Don't touch me.
Get your ass out
Don't
of here. Get
touch
your ass
me.
out of here.
Get her off me.
Get him out.
Get off me.
Get out.
Get off me.
I'm on you.
Get her
I'm
off
standing
me
still.
first.
All right.
Get her off me
standing
first.
still.
Yes, she is.
I'm standing still.
Do your people know you're a spoiled rich kid from Missouri? Touch me. Get it! Get it! Get it! Fuck you! Fuck you! Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! Get the fuck off!
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Are you proud?
No, just in case I gotta cuff you up. Let's just go.
For what?
Let's go. I'm telling you to leave.
Listen. A hot mess. Now, this is what Sara Gonzales had to say after that event when she went on One America News.
How is your back? How is your body after being manhandled by a bunch of big black dudes who are so scared of your voice, calling out a little rich girl who acts like she grew up in the ghetto? I'm so sick of this fraud. By all means, go off, Sarah.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me, Dan. Yeah. What a great day for me to be on. Yes, I did take photos. I have documentation of all of the marks and scratches all over my arms from a giant goon coming over and having to remove little petite 5'4" Sara Gonzales from an event because how dare she exercise her First Amendment right to criticize government, which we of course know was the reason for the First Amendment. We are allowed to criticize our own government representatives.
Amen.
And in this particular case, this particular government representative goes on and talks about fascism and calls all of us fascists. They call us KKK members, as you just pointed out. I mean, she stood there in front of this crowd and they called all of us fascists. Well, you tell me who are the true fascists when you have her own people coming in and threatening me with physical violence, assaulting me and carrying me out of an event that I was already trying to walk out of because I dared criticize this fraud. It is disgusting that she gets away with this, but I say as a born and raised native Texan, I'm not letting it happen on my watch. And I will continue to come back to Jasmine Crockett events every single time to remind her and her constituents that she is not from here and she does not get to act like some sort of a resident who knows the struggle of South Dallas when she does not know at all.
You don't even go here, girl. Is that from Mean Girls? I don't know.
That was a good. I like the swivel.
Right?
The head swivel was good.
All right, so here we go. Bravo, by the way. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Here's where I find the hypocrisy so freaking appalling, I want to literally vomit. The right typically doesn't do a lot of this stuff, right? There's a handful of us over the years that will go get in people's faces and do stuff. It's the left that prides themselves on going to events and doing this crap, or illegally protesting in the streets, stopping commerce, hurting people, pushing on cars, physically assault. They've been doing this wild BS for years. Now we got a few folks like you and Benny Johnson and James O'Keefe and Scotty LeBedo that will go out and get in front of people's faces and call them. And whoa, do they lose their crap.
Well, here's the thing, because he kind of contradicted himself a little bit, but I do agree. The liberals, the left, the Democrats, they are known to be disruptors, whether it's protests, whether it's, disrupting somebody's meeting or town hall or lashing out. Yes, they do have a reputation of doing that. But have we forgotten January 6th? Now, I'm not calling January 6th a resurrection, but a resurrection? Is it resurrection? I don't know. Resurrection, whatever. I'm not saying that, but there were a whole bunch of Trump supporters, MAGA Republicans outside of the Capitol. They did storm into the Capitol. So I think Democrats, Republicans, liberal, conservative, when it comes to protesting or just being disruptive, I think it's even. I think they're breaking even with that, right? However, why is it that this man had to say black bodyguards or black police officers? Because if those police officers were white, they would have did the same thing and escorted her out and demanded to put handcuffs on her. You do have a right to criticize your elected officials, but you do not have a right to harm them. And if security thinks that you may potentially try to aggressively touch these elected officials, they still have to come in and do their job and to detain, and calm down the situation. So they were doing their job and they weren't manhandling her. And it's not because they were black the way they were handling her. So again, both sides are guilty when it comes to throwing racial epithets at each other. But let's just go back to Jasmine Crockett, because Miss Thing may be out of a job next year in the 2026 midterm elections.
Well, first of all, it would not be a day that ends with the letter Y if Jasmine Crockett didn't say something racist. But second, her facts are wrong, because the facts in the state of Texas are, under the maps that we are drawing, is that 4 of the new seats will be predominantly Hispanic seats. The problem that Democrats have in the state of Texas is Hispanics, black voters, and other voters, they have learned now that the ideas that Democrats stand for are contrary to the ideas that the Hispanic community and black community stand for. They all want secure borders. They don't want men and women in sports, and they want to support law enforcement. And so what we're finding is that these Hispanics now are voting for Republicans. We saw that very prolifically in the last presidential election when Donald Trump won all 5 of the seats that we're going to be adding. So it's a proven fact that minority voters chose to vote for Trump as well as other Republicans, but they are trapped in one of these gerrymander districts that confines it only to electing a Democrat. If the Democrats would say that they shouldn't be entitled to elect a certain member of a particular race, but instead let the voters of that district decide, regardless of their race, they're going to find that Democrats are going to lose voters and Republicans will be picking up voters.
He's right, because a good percentage, 20% nationally of black people who are registered Democrats voted for Donald Trump. However, locally, if you are a Democrat, people tend to vote Democrat. And that is because they only have the option of voting Democrat because it's a Democratic district, right? But people tend to vote their party locally, and majority of the time they vote the same nationally when it comes to presidency. But there were a lot of Democratic Black Americans who went red for Donald Trump. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go red in their district locally, in their city. But changing these maps may give people, Black people and even Latino people in Texas, more options, a Republican option, which is one of the reasons why Jasmine Crockett seat is in jeopardy of being lost. Now she has to compete against two other Democratic representatives. Al Green is one of them, where she really didn't have any type of competition. So now she's doing her job. She's talking to her constituents. She's holding these town hall meetings, something that she should have been doing all along, because now she knows that she may be employed next year in 2026. Mind you, midterms, that is congressional elections, is more important than the presidential election to some degree. Voting for the president is very important, but voting for the midterms, I believe, is more important, because Congress are the ones who pass the laws, right? But he is absolutely correct to where, we are just tired, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, Black, white, Latina, it doesn't matter. People are tired and they feel disrespected under the Biden administration. Open up the borders, allowing millions of illegal migrants to cross that border, getting all types of resources and money so that they can have an economic uplift, in this country. Just skipping the line. Crime increased. So people are fed up. And that is why they lost the White House. Well, Kamala didn't have a chance to win anyway. But that is why they lost Congress, because people are fed up. People are fed up of how they handled that border situation. And the Democrats don't have a solution. They're talking negative about Trump every single day. But when was the last time Jasmine Crockett or any Democrat leader actually created a bill or any type of public policy, to be in competition with the Republicans, with their bills, right? Trump created that one big beautiful bill, and the only thing the Democrats did was just complain and saying it's horrible. Well, what was your solution for the one big beautiful bill? So it's one thing to just keep saying, I hate it, it's horrible, he's a racist. Okay, well, what are you going to do about it? And that is what the people are asking. What are you going to do about it? They do not have a plan. And that is why she most likely is going to lose her seat in Congress next year.
And so I want people to see him and understand who he is. This is a person that has a problem with people of color. Period. I don't care how many Black MAGA out there with their hats. I want to be clear, when we look at who it is that he's kicking out of this country is people of color. When we look at who he always disrespects and says that they are low IQ, even though when you look at his cabinet, this has to be the most incompetent cabinet we have ever had in the history of this country. When we're talking about people that literally have the ability to drop bombs or order that bombs be dropped or make recommendations that bombs be dropped, and they literally don't know how to get the signal chat right. So we're talking about low IQ individuals, but so long as they say that this guy is their guy, and usually if they work for a certain news network, that's the only qualification that's necessary. I've got news for the president. I am not going anywhere. No matter how many squiggly lines they draw in the state of Texas, I will be back and I will be on his behind and making sure the real accountability that the American people are demanding, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, that it is had when the Democrats take control of this House in the midterms.
Congresswoman.
Well, that's not going to happen. The Democrats will not be taking control of the midterms, because what other cheating trick do you have up your sleeve? See, they open up that border under the Biden administration to make sure that they could have Congress on lock for decades. But that blew up in their face. See, the American people are not stupid. They're not playing, especially when it comes to their livelihood. I don't care that most of the people that Donald Trump is deporting are people of color. They are illegal. So your race, your gender, it does not matter. You are an illegal. You had no right to come here or be here, because it is a security issue. It is how many sleeper cells cross that border? We don't know. And then on top of that, you're giving them credit cards, food stamps, you're giving them driver's license, work permits, you're giving them housing assistance, you're giving them free health care, you're giving them all these free things and have not paid now 1 cent in taxes. And the illegals that were already here for decades, yeah, they spent, regular sales tax, contribute to that, contribute to a little bit of state tax, but they didn't contribute to our Social Security. They didn't contribute to the federal government. No, we, the American people, are footing all those bills. We are paying for all those free resources that the illegals were able to take advantage of because of the Biden administration and the Democrats. So, Ms. Thane, the Democrats will not be taking over the House in 2026. See, Texas is just one state that are starting to draw out these little swiggly lines. Other states are going to follow. Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, best believe y'all are going to be shut out in 2026. You don't have a plan. People are still pissed that over 20 million illegals crossed that border and came in here. ICE is hiring and they're paying very well. I don't hear Black Americans complaining about Trump at all. But they are complaining about the Democrats, and they are complaining about Jasmine Crockett because she is a horrible representation. So let's go down memory lane to remind ourselves that, yes, she does put on this ghetto ratchet persona that we're just sick and tired of. And that makes her a fraud because, girl, you were not brought up in the projects.
Have you ever heard them say if, since we've been sitting here for I don't know how long? Because honestly, if they would continue to say if or Hunter and we were playing a drinking game, I would be drunk by now.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman. And it also sounds like you have to know something about math. My colleague brought that up as well. It sounds like you need to be at least somewhat decent at counting to be with IRS. Yes. You'd agree? Okay.
I agree.
Because right now what they're doing is they're peddling Russian lies. Basically, the Republicans have become synonymous for Russians at this point.
Well, you should ask O'Connor about my credibility.
I haven't asked you a question. Okay?
You are?
When I haven't. So when I ask you a question, that's when you answer. Otherwise, I'm talking. So.
Excuse me?
With my time, because it's my time.
Is that a question?
It's not a question.
Okay.
You'll know when I ask you a question, I promise. I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down, calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do.
So
I'm trying to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not recognized. Ms. Crockett.
I can't hear you with your yelling.
You don't want me
calm
to
down.
Be,
Can you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk noise and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Chairman,
come and talk shit about her, y'all gonna have a problem.
Chairman, Dana with the data. Dana with the data.